Hey guys, how's it going? Companion here. So today I want to talk about one topic that I'm sure right now people are really interested in. When is the Grand Tournament coming out? And this is a question that I try to answer every time there's an expansion because usually I try to do some research. I try to figure out all the little indicators, and typically in the past, what I've done is I've tried to figure out the time difference between when an expansion is announced and how long it takes for it to release, especially expansions that are similar to one another, as well as the time difference between each of the expansions, because this has been traditionally fairly consistent. But this time, I am fully convinced that there is a better method, and this better method was, of course, once again posted on Reddit, and it is that our true overlord, the Windows clock, has most likely yet again predicted what is, again, probably the release date of the Grand Tournament. Now, I don't have any insider info or anything like that. I'm just going by this. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it has quite a history, which I can tell you guys about here. So, what I'm talking about is when you go to your Windows clock and set the date forward, let's just say a month forward. Often, what happens in just about every Blizzard game I've played in the last 3 years is that some features actually change. The first time the world noticed this amazing feature was in Diablo 3. When Diablo 3 had first come out, it's actually when I first started streaming more than 3 years ago, you weren't able to cancel any of the auctions you listed on the auction house. And this was a fairly important dynamic because prices change a lot of the time. And back then, Diablo 3's auction house was the first to introduce real money trading through the game itself. And it was a pretty big deal to be able to cancel your auctions. So how would you cancel your auctions? Well, it'd be pretty simple. You'd list your auctions, and if you posted the auction for like a day, all you'd have to do is set your Windows clock one day ahead. Then you could take the item down from the auction house, and then you can actually choose to undercut your competition. So it gave you a considerable advantage, and it was just really hilarious. Many years later, starting to play Hearthstone, every time there was an expansion, it seems like, someone on Reddit kind of talks about this, how some features change if you set your Windows clock at a certain point. This, I believe, for Naxxramas had the most exciting results. I believe when they announced Naxxramas and you could actually pre-order Naxxramas, I think you were able to set your Windows clock ahead like a month and actually play some of Naxxramas immediately, which is awesome. Now, we haven't seen blunders like that in any other Hearthstone expansions that I remember since, but still, this feature of setting your Windows clock ahead after some kind of indicator like a pre-release event has begun has so far acted as an extremely accurate way to predict the launch date of one of these expansions. So the time has come for the Grand Tournament to be in exactly this position. Blizzard has announced the pre-order for the Grand Tournament to be you can buy 50 packs for $50, and the packs actually go into your pack area in Hearthstone. You're just not able to click on them. They have a seal. And if you set your Windows clock forward, right now it's at any time past, I believe, August 24th, the packs, while you can't still open them, they lose their seal. So you can try to open them, and allegedly it crashes the game. And August 24th, I believe, is a Monday, which is usually when these kind of patches roll through. Content is usually loaded in the game on Tuesday. So I have to say, from this evidence and from the long history of the Windows clock making amazing predictions with Blizzard's content, that the expansion will likely, almost certainly, in fact, come out on the 24th and the 25th based on the region that you're in. So pretty big news, very exciting in fact, and some people disputed this. They said that 24th might be just a placeholder, and if it was the first time I was looking at this type of information, be like, yeah, that's probably not the case. I would agree with that as well. But from what I just mentioned, with the many releases, with this feature being consistent in other Blizzard games, and basically always being accurate, it probably is a placeholder, but I think it's a placeholder that will only change if something catastrophic happens. So it's, someone else mentioned if Blizzard knew the date, there'd be no reason not to announce it earlier. Well, that's just not the case from what we've seen in the recent past. So in terms of the card releases and all that, this stuff is ongoing. Right now there are, I believe, 32 out of the 132 cards available. They have kind of shown what's up. In the past expansions, they've released all of the cards before the expansion ended up releasing, just so people know what to expect, but they haven't done so in a systematic way that is like, like if you really go through it, the expansion is coming up in like 26 days from when I'm making this video. So that's like 4 cards a day that still have to be released. But we're not seeing a release date of 4 cards per day. We're seeing like 2 cards per day, maybe like 2 and a bit. So what the Blizzard model is, what you guys can expect is that cards will be released probably around there, 2 to 3 cards a day, until a few days before the expansion is actually released, in which they'll release like a huge bulk of cards, which is usually the most exciting moment, where you really just see the full picture of the expansion, and you really get to put your foot down and, kind of really throw your opinion out there on how this expansion will actually impact the game. So you can kind of expect a video on that, maybe on the 22nd, maybe the 23rd, something like that. But as we go on, as cards are ongoingly, being released, I'll try to update you guys with my thoughts. And, well, while the expansion release seems a little bit far away, I do have to kind of reflect on, originally I thought this would be like an Argent tournament expansion, but I didn't think it would be like a 100+ card expansion like GVG, because, well, it takes a lot of time to develop these cards to make it all happen. So I feel Blizzard put a really big effort since Blackrock Mountain, not only with Tavern Brawl, but also with this huge expansion. So giving them an extra month just seems completely fair. I've been very pleased with the progress they've made on the game, and, well, only good things from here on out can come, right? Hopefully. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy my video. Hope you guys hold your faith in the Windows clock just as I have, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.